Hello, people of the internet. This is Moonlight. I am here with week 5 of the GDF season 3. And this week we are taking on Jay, aka Stefan, and their Grand Lake Garchomps. So, Stefan is taking over this team, and I had to change my team like a few days ago because he very recently picked up this team after the coach was forced to drop out. So he's picking up a team that is 2-2 with a -2 differential. We are currently sitting at 3-1 with a +11 differential. So big difference between our teams. However, his team very, very scary. I apologize for the 1 week break in not uploading. Been a bit busy recently. PWC week 4 video will be out within the next few days. You have my promise on that. So, just life has just been sort of gotten my attention at the moment. So importantly, So I'm going to very quickly go through his team one by one, and I'm going to talk about each of them. So, first mon, we've got Petran. Very bulky fire steel type. Really good fire steel type. I was personally never the biggest fan of it, but I completely understand why people like it. I've started to become more interested in it recently, so very threatening against my team. Very bulky, hits hard if he wants to run it offensively. It's a good Zero Aura counter. If he's running like Choppel and defensive, he can run it and then just like run Earth Power and just start clicking Earth Power versus Zero Aura. One thing you'll notice about his team is that he actually has some pretty good Zero Aura counters. So, Hitmontop, I definitely could see him bringing it. Rillaboom, 100% he needs to bring it. Because, it's Rillaboom. Nothing really wants to take a Grassy Glide from that thing. I do have answers to it, but like I said, it hits hard. He can easily run like a Sword Stance set with Grassy Glide, Knockoff, and Drain Punch, maybe, high horsepower, whatever he wants on that thing, because it just hits hard. It's really difficult to deal with. My team especially, I don't have the best checks to it. Arcanine's a pretty good check, but Heatran deals with it really well, as does a lot of his other mons. Weezing can deal with Rillaboom quite well, but it gets spread thin across his team because there are several other physical threats that it would need to deal with. And Ferroseed, it just isn't a good Rillaboom check because he can knock off and then just go for like a Drain Punch or a high horsepower and just obliterate Ferroseed. So Rillaboom had a really good matchup in my opinion. And I think it has a really good matchup in my opinion. But Obstagoon 100% bringing. Flame Orb set or Scarf Defiance set are really, really nice against my team. Expecting a Flame Orb set to come because he does have web support with the Slurpuff. So, what he wants to do with that thing, I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards a Flame Orb set because Flame Orb boosted facades and knockoffs are just really hard for my team to handle. Hits hard, can Parting Shot out on a lot of things. Which makes it super annoying for me to deal with. Really annoying for me to deal with. Knockoff, Facade are annoying. Whatever else he wants, like a Fire Punch or an Ice Punch. Fire Punch for Ferroseed, Ice Punch, and Fire Punch for Ferroseed and Rotom Frost, Ice Punch for Latios and Moltres. Next, Rotom Wash. Once again, I do think he brings it. It's really nice. It's super bulky. It's a Rotom form. The Rotom forms are all fantastic. I haven't brought mine yet, but they're all really good and competitive. I don't think anyone should trash on any of them because they're good. So, I do think he brings the Rotom. It's his best defogger. It is one of his best forms of hazard removal outside of the Hitmontop, which we'll get to next. But, it switches in well to Arcanine. It serves as a really good check to Moltres. It can be a good check to Mienshao. It's just a solid all-around mon. he can run its Scarf with Trick to be just really, really annoying. Because if I bring something like Quagsire on it, he can trick me to the Choice Scarf and pretty much cripple Quagsire. Next is Hitmontop. Now, Hitmontop with Intimidate is a really good Zeraora counter, because it lowers the attack of Zeraora, and depending on my item, that can be really detrimental to me. And then he can run it like Assault Vest with Intimidate, so that way he can tank hits from Latios or Gmax Gengar. He can run stuff like Rapid Spin, Close Combat, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch, Darkest Lariat, Triple Axle, the whole shebang. If I do think he brings it, I think he either brings Hitmontop or the Petran. So it's really up to him as to what he wants to bring on that thing. So if he does bring it, it's gonna deal with a lot of pretty badly with 4 move slot syndrome. So that is, of course, if he wants to, unless he wants to run Defog over Rapid Spin. Next, Uxie. I do think Uxie is probably going to come. It's a really good defensive counter on his end, like against my physical walls like Mienshao, against my physical threats like Mienshao, Zeraora, and Arcanine. It can just tank hits really well from them. And Psychics hurt against my team. Moltres is my best counter to a Psychic, and even then, like a Thunderbolt from Uxie, not something I really want to take, or an Ice Beam from Uxie. So I think he could bring it. It gets good pivot momentum. It can set up rocks. It can just be annoying with Rest Talk if he wants to do that. He can run Calm Mind as well. He could run like Colbur to not have to worry about knockoffs from Mienshao or Zeraora. He could also run Ghost Berry for Gmax Gengar. Next is Dradagon. Don't really see it coming. It, outside of being like maybe like an offensive set, it doesn't do much against my team. Like, sure, it hits hard, but it doesn't really have much of a chance to come in against any of my mons. It can, I guess, come in on like Quagsire after it's like knocked something out, or he's like he's gone for like a parting shot with Obstagoon. But I can just Ice Beam it. I don't really see Dradagon coming, because most of my team just blows through that thing. Slurpuff. Slurpuff, I think he brings. He 100% brings Slurpuff, because that thing is just obnoxious to deal with. He could run a bulky Sticky Web set. He could run a Calm Mind set. I've done that a few times before with Slurpuff. He could run a Belly Drum set, which is like, that's what Slurpuff is known for, going for a Belly Drum and then sweeping. Luckily, I do have one good counter to Slurpuff, so just need to make sure I keep that thing healthy for this match. Dusknoir. Don't really think he brings, because Zeraora and Mienshao and Moltres all blow through it, and so does Gmax Gengar. There's not really much else to say about it. He just gets blown back by my biggest offensive core. By my offensive core, with the exception of Latios, for the most part. Because, even if he's Assault Vest, I think Moltres still blows through it with a Fiery Wrath, and Shadow Balls from Latios, they're not tickling. Golbat I think he could bring, maybe. It's a possibility. Because, I have Zeraora and Latios, both of which blow it back. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't think he brings the Golbat. Latios blows through it. Zeraora blows through it. Stone Edge from Mienshao obliterates it. Thunderbolt from Gmax Gengar knocks it away. Rotom Frost deals with it handily. And even if he runs it offensively, I have plenty of good checks to it on the defensive side. Finally, Gmax Lapras. This thing is 100% coming. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. With the exception of, I believe it was week 4, last week, there has not been a single match where the Gmax Mons have not come. And where I've gone, and I have either not brought my Gmax Mon, or my opponent has not brought their Gmax Mon. Because, Gmax Mons are just something you bring pretty much every week. Because, Lapras is just really annoying to switch in on defensively. Because, it's just so obnoxious. It gets freeze dry, so Quagsire can't deal with it. It hits hard, it's bulky. Gmax Resonance is super annoying to deal with. Luckily, I do have a very solid counter to it. So I definitely think I can play around it. So that currently is the hope. So once again, I will repeat the team I think he brings. I think he brings the Rillaboom, the Obstagoon, the Rotom Wash, the Slurpuff, the Gmax Lapras, and then either the Uxie, the Hitmontop, or the Heatran, leaning more so towards the Hitmontop or the Heatran, personally. Although he can definitely bring Uxie because he needs a Zero Aura counter, because it's my kill leader, and it's one of the season kill leaders. Actually, I can check that right now as to who the league kill leaders are. Let me check that. So, yeah, Zero Aura is second place in regards to the kill leaders list. Yeah, it's behind Gmax Toxtricity and Swampert in each of the two divisions. So, I believe that I believe that both of those are from the other division. So, I believe that that Zero Aura is the kill leader in this division, but I can very easily just double check it. But, anyways, I'm going to get into the team builder now. So, first up, we have lactose-free, the Miltank. Leftovers, Milk Drink, Heal Bell, Brick Break, Body Slam, Max HP, 216 in SPDEF with a Careful Nature and 40 in Defense. So, this thing is meant to take on Gmax Lapras. That's its only real purpose, dealing with Gmax Lapras and the Heatran. Because Thick Fat, I'm taking significantly less damage from both of them. Milk Drink, there for longevity. Heal Bell is there to make sure that if he decides to Toxic or Will-O-Wisp my team, I can deal with them handily. Brick Break is there so that when he goes for a Gmax Resonance and gets up his Aurora Veil, I can break it. Body Slam is there for stab. And because of the 30% para chance, I really want it in case he's like a setup. I mean, I've heard of physical. Yeah, I've seen physical Lapras a few times before. I've never played it. I've seen it in other leagues, but in case he is like a D-Dance Lapras, I can body slam it and hopefully get the para. Para is also just really nice for the rest of his team in case he wants to bring in like Rillaboom against this thing. There's the chance that I can paralyze it with body slam, or Slurpuff if he wants to set up. I can potentially paralyze it with body slam and cripple it. So, yeah, that's the whole mindset with this thing. Because this thing can very easily just 1v1 Gmax Lapras. That's about it. The leftovers and Milk Drink allow me to make sure I can 1v1 it even if he is Gmaxed up. So, yeah, that's the whole point of Miltank. Wheezing. Black Sludge, Neutralizing Gas, Will-O-Wisp, Sludge Bomb, Strange Steam, Defog, Max HP, Max Defense with the Bold Nature. Very standard set. This is my primary check to Rillaboom, to the Obstagoon, and to the Slurpuff. So, this thing has a lot on its plate. So, Will-O-Wisp is there to cripple a Rillaboom and Slurpuff. Sludge Bomb is there to deal with both of them. Strange Steam is there for the Obstagoon. Defog is there to get rid of hazards like sticky webs that Slurpuff might want to set up. So, this thing is meant to take on those, like I said. Neutralizing Gas is there so that if he goes for like a knockoff with his Obstagoon, it's not doing much at all. He loses the boost of the burn via Guts, because Neutralizing Gas works just like Mold Breaker or Terravolt, except that it works on every single ability as opposed to those things just working on a few abilities. So, Strange Steam is doing 70 to 80% versus Obstagoon, so I can put it in range of killing it with something else, or if he's already weakened, I can kill it with Strange Steam. Facade isn't knocking me out. If he's Slurpuff, the hardest thing he can hit me with, even at +6, is Facade, and even then, that's doing 54% max to me, and I do a lot back with it with the Sludge Bomb. I believe I 2-hit KO with Sludge Bomb against that thing. So, this is the perfect counter to Slurpuff. Actually, I believe I kill it after it's gone for a Belly Drum, even with the Citrus Berry. So this is the perfect counter to that. And then Rillaboom, yes, he can high horsepower me, but I don't think he would want to run high horsepower on it. I think he would want to run something like Drain Punch for longevity. Actually, now that I think about it, he probably runs high horsepower on it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So this thing is just meant to take on its physical threats. So yeah, that's its whole point. Next we have Gmax Gengar. Gmax Gengar goes in this matchup, because if he is not Choice Scarf Obstagoon, this thing just blows his team apart. So because because the fastest mod on his team is base 95 speed, I can afford to go modest with this thing. So that way, I can still outspeed everything on his team. I outspeed a max speed Jolly Obstagoon by 1 point if he's not Scarfed. So this thing is meant to outspeed everything on his team that isn't Scarfed. Sludge Wave is there for stab. Shadow Ball. Sludge Wave is there for stab and to deal with the Rillaboom. Shadow Ball, once again, there for stab. Focus Blast is there primarily for the Obstagoon and the Heatran. And Thunderbolt is there for the Lapras, because a max Lightning from Gengar, if I'm not at +1 and he doesn't have Veil Up, is doing 70 to 80% to a max speed to a max HP Lapras, even if he's Gmax. I don't remember exactly if it works even if he is Gmax. I can check that now actually. If he is Gmaxed, it's doing 40%, my bad. 40 to 47%. If he's not Gmaxed, it's doing 80 to 95%. So, and if he has Veil Up, it's doing the same as if he was Gmaxed. So, like I said though, this thing blows through his team. If he doesn't have if he brings Dusknoir for whatever reason and he has Shadow Sneak on that, that's his only real way of dealing with it outside of Scarfers. So, yeah, this is probably going to be my endgame, or potentially a mid-game breaker. Next we have Eon Scarf Latios, hoping to actually get kills with it this week, because I haven't gotten a kill with it once yet. Draco Meteor, Psychic, Aura Sphere, Shadow Ball. Don't need to bring Mystical Fire in this match because Draco Meteor and Psychic are doing a crap ton of damage to Rillaboom. So, Draco and Psychic are there for stab. Hits everything on his team. The only mons that really can come in on this thing are the Slurpuff. Well, not even the Slurpuff because Psychic. But the only real mons that can come in are the Heatran and the Uxie. Shadow Ball is there for Uxie, Heatran, Aura Sphere is there for Heatran. So, this thing looks really nice in the late game. 44 in HP, 48 in defense, max special attack, 4 in def, and then 160 in speed with the Timinature. So this is EV'd to guaranteed outspeed a Unburden boosted Adamant Slurpuff. So if he's Jolly and he's Unburden, he outspeeds me, but if he's Adamant and Unburden, then he does not. He never does. So I just put the rest into random HP and defense EVs. That's about the entirety of the logic behind that. So yeah, that's about it. There wasn't much logic behind it, but this thing looks really nice in the end game. If I can weaken down the Heatran, get rid of the Uxie, or even weaken it, I can just start spamming Psychics or Aura Spheres depending on what he has left. Because if Heatran's gone, Psychic is free. If Heatran is weakened and Slurpuff is gone, Aura Sphere is really free against this team. So that's the whole logic behind this. Quagsire, leftovers, recovered, toxic, scald, ice beam. Max HP, 28 in defense, and 228 with the sassy nature in Spadef. This thing is meant to take on Heatran and Rotom Wash. So I really wasn't sure what to do with this last mon. I originally had Mienshao here, but I thought Quagsire would probably be better because I need something to deal with Petran, something that's reliable outside of Miltank. So this thing is EV to take a 50%. So this thing is guaranteed to live. It's 3-hit KO'd by a Scarf Timid Max special attack eruption from Heatran. It deals really well with Rotom Wash. If he's not Scarf, if he's not like Trick, then I'm perfectly fine versus that thing. Otherwise, I completely hard wall it. Toxics outside of Heatran, completely free across his team because I don't believe he has a Psychic type, a Poison type. He has the Golbat actually, but outside of Golbat and Heatran, Toxics completely free across the entirety of his team. That's, yeah. Scald is there for Stab, Ice Beam's there for Rillaboom, or the Golbat or Dradagon on switch-ins. Mainly the Rillaboom. I feel like he'd want to bring the Rillaboom in versus this thing 9 times out of 10. So I have Ice Beam and Toxic for that. Finally, Zero Aura. This thing breaks through his team. 136 in HP, max attack, adamant, with 120 in speed def. Not a single EV in speed. Main reason is fastest thing on his team is base 95 speed. Guaranteed to outspeed everything on his team minus Scarfers. Only way that he outspeeds me is that he needs to run a Scarfer. So I just dumped the rest into HP and speed def. I believe this is to take a Scarf Eruption from Heatran. But I would need to go back and double check that, but I believe that's what this is for. Lumberry is so that if he is, I'm guessing he's going to be running Flame Body on Heatran, so that way he can take hits from this thing. Lumberry is for that reason entirely. Bulk Up, Plasma Fist, Knock Off, Close Combat, +1/+1. I blow through his team if he's not Chople, physically defensive Heatran. If he's not like super bulky Hitmontop, and if he's not Colbur, max defense Uxie, I just blow through his team with this thing. Yeah, so this thing looks really nice. Breaking, revenge killing, it just looks really good overall against his team. As long as I can weaken a few things, I can just mow through his team really nicely. Even like a physically defensive Rotom Wash doesn't want to take Plasma Fist from this thing. I believe it's pretty close to getting 2-hit KO'd by Plasma Fist. I believe it's a roll. So, actually, let me check that. Rotom Wash. If he's max HP, then it is a 31% chance to 2-hit KO after leftovers, but that's only if he's max HP. Actually, let me get rid of the 40 defense. Actually, if he doesn't have any defensive investment at all, it's an 80% chance to 2-hit KO after leftovers. Plasma Fist is, even at neutral. So, if I get to +1/+1, I can just Plasma Fist it twice, and it's gone. Knock Off, there for the Uxie, and there to get rid of items. And then Close Combat is there for the Lapras, it's there for the Obstagoon, it's there for the Heatran. Yep, so that is the team we're going to be rolling with in this match. So, yeah, you may have seen that, but if you didn't, shh. So, anyways, I'm going to leave you now, and we're going to go straight into the battle. Hello, people. So we are here with the battle for Week 5 versus the Grand Lake Garchomps and their coach, JJ. So, okay. So, good luck, have fun to my opponent. Alright, so let's find out what my opponent is bringing this week. Okay, so no Rillaboom. Okay, the no Rillaboom is big. He brings the Rotom Wash, he brings the Obstagoon. No Hitmontop, no Uxie. I got this team really wrong then. He does bring the Heatran, does bring the Slurpuff. Does bring the Dusknoir though, so... I got half of his team. Yeah, I got like four of his Mons. Yeah, I got 4 of his Mons, so... Technically 5. Because it was either... Yeah, no. Because it was either the Tran or the Hitmontop. Does bring the Dusknoir, which I think is a little odd, all things considered. But I can work around this. So, let me copy. So, what do I think he could lead here? So possible leads for him. He could want to lead the Obstagoon and go for an Obstruct right off the bat. He could also go Lapras and Gmax turn 1. Or he could lead a Rotom. I think Slurpuff is either going to be Sticky Web support, or more likely it's going to be a Belly Drum set, which I am going to have to watch out for. So, I think I am going to lead with... I think he leads the Tran or the Rotom. Both cases, I'm gonna lead off with... What pressures out most things on his team? Latios does pressure out most of his team. He could be Scarfed Obstagoon. I am going to have to watch out for that. So, that being said... So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna lead with... Yeah, I think I'm going to lead... Sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna lead Quagsire, in case he leads with the Rotom, or he leads with the Heatran. If he leads with the Obstagoon, I'm fine with that. If he leads with the Obstagoon, I can just double into Wheezing. I doubt he leads Slurpuff here. Doesn't make much sense. Yeah. So he does lead with the Obstagoon, okay. Obstagoon, he doesn't, he's not burned yet. So you can't go for knockoff here. I'd rather this thing be poisoned than anything else. Or I could just double into Wheezing. You know, I think I'll just Scald. So he does knock off. So he is now burned. Question is, does he knock off again? I'm gonna go Wheezing here. I think he wanted to knock off again. I don't think he facades here. Probably should have gone Wheezing straight off the bat, but I also want Wheezing healthy for the Slurpuff. Alright, he goes Lapras instead. So, Lapras. If he is offensive... Go. So I just go Miltank here. I always go Miltank. He's physical, okay. Lapras. +1, +1. Honest, if he is Jolly with Dragon Dance, Liquidation. What physical moves does Lapras get? Miltank is only here for this thing. So if he wants to get rid of this, if he wants to take me out, I'm fine with that. Does this thing get a fighting type move? Does get body press, but I doubt he has it. Sickle Crash. Alright, I go for Body Slam here. He's at +2 now. Alright, I do get the para, okay. Alright, so that is not physically bulky at all. He's like hasty, I think. Yeah, because that Body Slam did a lot. Max Mindstorm, what is that's Zen Headbutt? Gmaxed. He got the crit. Okay. If I go for a milk drink here, I'm at 25% after leftovers. Should be able to tank a max. It's not a guarantee. I'm gonna milk drink here in case he goes for residence. He gets paralyzed. Ugh. I'm sorry about this, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna break here again, break the veil. Alright, so we are able to neutralize the Lapras. Cool. So he goes Dusk Noir here. Dusk Noir. Quagsire doesn't have leftovers, so I'm not really at too much of a threat from Poltegeist. So I'm gonna go Quagsire here. Power Up Punch, okay. Fine with this. I can just recover. And then I can Toxic the following turn. The Veil is annoying, but I can deal with it. Alright, Veil is gone. He's at +2. And I'm at 89%. If I go Lottie here. Shadow Sneak is killing. Zero Aura. I'm gonna Toxic here. I go Miltank, right? Yeah, I go Miltank here. Brick break, fine with that. Yep, I am perfectly alright with this exchange. So he is at +3. I knock off. Yep, he didn't have Shadow Sneak would be my guess. I think he had Poltergeist over it. Alright, I'm fine with that exchange. I didn't need Miltank for anything. He goes Obstagoon. Why does he go Obstagoon here? It doesn't get any priority, right? What? He's faster. Did I EV incorrectly? $317. Huh. $322. I always outspeed him. Did I IV this thing wrong? Are the IVs wrong? No. Oh, okay. He was scarfed. All right, that makes sense. So at -1/-1. Without my one berry. 78%. Plasma Fist does knock out the Puff. No, it doesn't knock out the Puff, but it puts him out of range. So Rotomawashi is lefties. Okay. Weird play on his end. Oh, I crit him. Oof, that sucks. Sorry. I'm gonna knock off here. Yep. Okay. There goes the leftovers. Now what? He doesn't go back into... Why does he go back into Slurpuff? If he's physical, he can't kill me. So I Plasma Fist here, yeah. Oh, that's a problem. Do I still need this thing? Yeah, I go Quagsire here. Yep. Go into wheezing. 6. And I Sludge Bomb. Oof. That miss hurts, but it wouldn't have killed me anyways. So he can still pull this back. Depending on the Hitmontop set. So he has Tran. If he is offensive, do I just go Latios here? Yeah, I think I just go Latios here and I just start clicking Aura Sphere. Feel like he flash cannons. If he's offensive. He's Iron Defense, okay. Body press, not gonna do enough. All right, I think that's GG to my opponent. So, well played. I'm not really sure why he doubled out of the Slurpuff. But Latios is gonna pick up its first 2 kills of the season. We are gonna pick up our 4th win. So we are going to move up to 4-1. Yeah. So GG to my opponent. Very, very thankful that he did not bring the Rillaboom. That definitely would have changed how this game went. So, GG to my opponents. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time. Peace.